Facebook, and it's Chrissy, and welcome back to our coffee chat. Today is a day of patience and learning, literally. So here is somebody I would love for you to meet. Her name is Kara Newbury, and Kara is the president of the Junior League Columbus. Hi, Kara.
Hi.
Welcome, and thank
Thank
you for
you.
your patience. I think the time of quarantine and all that's going on in the world has taught us patience. And today was a test of that since technology was not on my side or yours. So thank you.
Yes, good to be here. Thank you.
Absolutely. So, as I mentioned, you are the president of Junior League Columbus. Can you tell me a little bit about what that organization is all about?
Absolutely. So, the Junior League of Columbus is one of now 293 leagues throughout the world. We're part of the Association of Junior Leagues International. But the Junior League of Columbus has been around since 1923. And the purpose of our organization and all of the leagues across the world is to develop the potential of women. It's a training organization for women. Really about female empowerment and giving back to your community by developing yourself as a woman.
So, how does one become involved in Junior League?
We're actually right now in our recruitment period. So our league year starts on July 1st. And we have information available at www.jlcolumbus.org. You can actually join there or get more information or participate in a recruitment event. There's all sorts of information on our website. And we welcome all women in Central Ohio. Well, let me rephrase. All women, I think you have to be 21 years old. So you have to be at least 21. But all women 21 and up in Central Ohio who share our mission of, giving back to the community while developing ourselves is what we're about.
So we'll talk a little bit more. I actually attended one of your Facebook Live trainings on what it means to be a part of it and how to join. So we can come back to that in just a second. But let's maybe let people know why they would want to join and what some of your fundraising or some of your activities are that you all do around Columbus.
Absolutely. So the Junior League of Columbus, our community focus now is on youth aging out of the foster care system. So we are, a lot of our advocacy efforts, our fundraising efforts, and our community, outreach and giving back to the community is focused on the youth aging out of foster care. So one of the projects that we have started working on with that is part of our Bridging the Gap. So GAP stands for Guide, Advocate, and Provide. And we have started with the Provide project of GAP to start providing, household necessities to youth who are going to be moving into Carol Stewart Village, which is also known as the Franklinton Project. And it's, a really phenomenal project for, youth who were homeless, many of which are those who aged out of foster care or were at some point part of the foster care community. And we are helping to provide, like I said, some household supplies to them. So bedding, sheets and towels and, kitchen items and all sorts of things that really, will help anybody start out in their new apartment, but particularly important for those who were previously homeless.
So is that a program that if somebody wants to volunteer and join, that's one discussion, but is this something that people can make donations for as well?
Absolutely. And there is information at jlcolumbus.org about donating to that project. We actually also have a wish list. So if you would rather specify exactly which items you want to provide, you can go on and click on and donate specific items. But the money that we raise will be put to ensuring that the youth are have the bedding and some of the larger items that they definitely need. And yeah, so that's one of our important projects. And then, do you have any more questions about that? Sorry.
No, not at all. I know some of the other ones.
Jumping around.
I've attended a few different events as well that I thought were pretty fun. So I thought maybe if you could tell us more about the other
Sure.
events.
So and of course, unfortunately right now, some of our events have been postponed or canceled for this year, like a lot of organizations due to COVID-19. But in February, we had our Breakfast with Characters, which is a fundraiser specifically for our A Backpack for Children project, Adopt a Backpack for Children project. And that is a project that is celebrating its 20th year with the Junior League of Columbus. And we have donated over 55,000 backpacks in that time to youth that need them in Central Ohio. They're fully, supply-filled backpacks. So the Breakfast with Characters is just what it sounds like. It's a fun event where kids and, kids at heart come and hang out with their favorite characters, whether it be Elsa or Anna or, Star Wars characters. And we raise money for, a fantastic cause. So backpacks. And we also have started, we sponsor like foster youth to tie into our community focus at that breakfast. And then this year, for the first time, we had a sensory-friendly session in addition to the usual session that we have. So the music was a little softer. We partnered with the Autism Society in town, who helped provide like a quiet room, and just different, aspects of it were geared more toward those who might need, to be a little more sensory-friendly.
I absolutely love that. What a great addition to that program. So does this happen, the character breakfast, is that an annual event?
Yes. Gosh, I want to say we've done it 4 or 5 years now. And, hopefully start, that we can all start seeing each other in public again. It's typically been held in like February timeframe. And then usually we do our backpack distribution in May, but that's probably going to get pushed back this year, either to summer or early fall. And then we also, we've had other fundraisers for the backpack initiative. But many in town might not know that the Junior League of Columbus also is in charge of the Kelton House Museum and Garden. So that's another one of our significant projects. And we typically have a gala every year. The gala was unfortunately canceled for this year, like many other things. But once the Kelton House is open again, we're excited, hopefully sometime soon, to start welcoming people back in. We do all sorts of education at the Kelton House, Underground Railroad program, for local school groups, and people hold weddings there. But you can tour the house, or like I said, we have a lot of events and programs at the Kelton House during non-pandemic times.
Absolutely. And what a beautiful place it is, with gardens and history. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a really cool historic property, because it was lived in by the same family since it was built. So there weren't a lot of significant changes made until the last owner, Grace Kelton, passed away in the mid 20th century. And then it was turned into a museum. We're actually celebrating 40 years of the Kelton House Museum and Garden being a museum. So that's exciting as well.
That's very exciting. And there are events that the facility can be rented out through you all as well, right?
Absolutely. You can rent it out for a corporate space, for your business, at very reasonable rates, for meetings. And then, of course, weddings, showers, rehearsal dinners, etc. And we're actually I'm about to review the new website. So we have a really, really cool new and exciting website that's going to be rolled out soon, probably in the next month or so. And it'll be a lot easier, streamlined, so you can go online and submit an interest form and, get a quick response. We're we're getting up to the times technologically speaking, so we're catching up. Although obviously I'm not there yet with with some of these apps, but
I think we're all technologically challenged right now because everybody is
we're
trying to
getting there.
and overload systems. Yeah. So there was another event that I had RSVP'd and put on my calendar, and it had to move because of the times that we're in. But the greatest show of support,
Yeah.
I believe it looks like it's been moved to July. What is that correct? And what is that?
So, just like everybody else right now, we've got Plan A, which is to hold the event July 30th. And then we're there, the team is hard at work developing plans B through Z, as they say, just to be ready. But the Greatest Show of Support is another fundraiser specifically to benefit the Adopt a Backpack for Children project. It is a brand new event. So one of the cool things about the league is that it's really a great opportunity to kind of get outside of your comfort zone a little and develop training, maybe not necessarily in areas that you have through your career or that you've worked on before, but our new members have traditionally been working on some of our Adopt a Backpack for Children projects. Fundraisers, and so it was an idea that our new members came up with, and everybody was really excited. They are going to have like live circus performers, basically. So the Amazing Giants, I'm really excited to see them, on stilts, and just for kind of like cool entertainment at that event. And it was just something, different that we were trying to do, not necessarily your, traditional gala, but, trying to add some cool entertainment elements to it. But that's on a Thursday night in July, like I said, July 30th, assuming that we are allowed to, to host events of that size by then. But we are trying to keep it fairly small, like to the 1 to 125 range, either way, just in case.
Kara, what I'm hearing from all of what you've been sharing with us is obviously you have a drive for volunteers going on, and people can sign up and volunteer, but what you're doing is giving back to the community, and you're providing events that are family friendly. So whether you're wanting to give, whether you're needing help or participating, or whether you're looking for something to do with your family, Junior League Columbus is there.
That's our goal. We're trying to come up with a variety of different events that do serve, the broader Columbus community, families, a night out with your girlfriends. I know probably a lot of us women right now could use that. But yeah, we have a wide range of events. And then we also have some things where, it's good to bring that the guys are interested in well. So we try to have a wide variety of events for the Central Ohio community, and giving back not only through the events that we hold, but also the funds that we raise, providing those back into the community as well.
I know one of the events that you've had that I particularly enjoyed, it certainly helps that I'm a real estate agent, so it piqued my interest, but with your holiday tour. Yeah,
we are super excited. We've already committed to having the holiday tour of homes in Upper Arlington again. So last year was the first year that we had it in Upper Arlington. It was a huge success. It didn't hurt that it was a gorgeous day, but it's always the first Saturday in December. And we're already planning for this coming December's tour. Locked down some of the houses already, but yeah, that's always one of my favorite events too. I'm a little biased because when I first moved back to Columbus in 2014, the tour was in Grandview, where I live, and I was actually my house was one of the houses on the tour, so it was fun to like dive right in and participate in that way. But yeah, I love the holiday tour of homes. It's always fun to see how people decorate their homes for the holidays. And I will say that is our biggest fundraiser of the year, which really allows us to do all of our programming.
That is fun. So let's talk about the fact that obviously you can't get all of this done without volunteers.
Right.
So let's talk a little bit more on that side of it. I know you mentioned there's a minimum age requirement. Is there a maximum age with Junior League Columbus, or what does a volunteer look like?
Absolutely not. And, it's kind of cool because we have, members of all ages. And, I believe that members of all ages can learn from each other. We have, like I said, I think you have to be 21 to join. But we have new members coming in who are, 25 maybe. We have a lot of people moving to the area. And then we have a lot of people who maybe have established themselves in their career and they now have a little bit more time to give back, and didn't join as early on. I'm still an active member. I just turned 40. We have plenty of active members, much older than I am. And then we have sustaining members of the league as well, up to, in their 90s. So we have about 450 new active and sustaining members of the league. And yes, we welcome people of all ages. And then some of our members bring their friends to volunteer for events. They bring their kids or their spouses to volunteer for events. So even if you're not, joining the league, we do not let men join, unfortunately. It is just for women. But like I said, friends and family can also help volunteer. We really do rely on our members to do a lot of the volunteering. But anybody is always welcome to kind of check out and see what the Junior League of Columbus is about.
Absolutely. And then is there a commitment of a certain amount of time or anything like that? Or is it adjustable by person?
So there used to be, and we got rid of like specific, check marks that you have, boxes that you have to check, because we just didn't think that it fit well with the current demands on our members. And so now you have a placement and you decide in advance, as a member, kind of what you're willing to commit to for the coming league year. But that can also be adjusted during the year as well, because we understand that, circumstances change. But you have your placement and you meet your placement requirements. And then there's no, further requirements outside of that. So, we welcome people to, contribute funds, or we welcome people, and like for them to attend our events if possible, but there aren't any requirements for that. And it was interesting because this is the first year that we've done this. And we have general membership meetings, and it used to be required that you went to them. And I feel like we've actually even had better turnout this league year for some of the general membership meetings than even in years past. And it's because the programming has been so good and people just want to come and hear what's being discussed. They want the training that's being provided. So that's been really exciting to see, is that, even without set requirements, people are coming and wanting to participate.
So have your meetings had to go like the rest of the world and kind of that Zoom route?
Yeah, unfortunately, we have moved our annual meeting to a Zoom meeting. I'm interested to see how that goes. We typically, we have certain traditions we do, like a pass the gavel. So I'll pass it to Terry, who's our incoming president. And then we're also we're going to do some of our awards. While we're going to recognize them in our virtual meeting, we're also going to do a second round of recognition at our next in-person general membership meeting, which, fingers crossed, is going to be in September, assuming that everything goes as planned. So yes, we are, and we've been doing virtual happy hours with our members on Thursdays. A couple weeks ago, one of our members did a virtual yoga session, which was great. So we are trying to get creative and think outside of the box of different ways that we can, engage. I've been trying to do videos and putting them up on our member page, just to check in with everybody and see how they're doing. I think, probably, I know you're very social as well, I could tell. And I think one of the hardest things has been, a lot of us miss each other because, while it's an organization that's, training women and giving back to the community, you really do form friendships. And so it's been hard not being able to see some of these women that, you devote so much time and energy to this organization. We miss each other. So like last night we were on a call and we're like, oh, we can't wait to see you all in person again. But I hope that that's coming sooner rather than later for all of us when it's safe.
Yes, we would like that virtual hug to go away and have the real thing there.
Exactly.
Exactly. We have a couple of people that have tuned in or saying hello. So hello to them and thanks for being with us. And I'm sure this will be viewed by hundreds of other people as well. And yes, Ramona, she's also a yoga lover. And she's actually a teacher, but friendships for sure and wanting to be around others. So friendships and Junior League. Thanks, Ramona. That was a nice segue. I was going to mention something you had said earlier, Kara, was that people maybe moving to town have been able to join. So this is an international organization. So what does that look like if people coming and going and internationally?
So, Columbus is becoming a much more transient place. I'm actually from Columbus, but I lived in the Washington, D.C. area. I lived in Arlington, Virginia for 9 years, and I actually joined the league in D.C. I joined the Junior League of Washington. And when I was moving home, I transferred to the Columbus League. So it's a great way, to not only meet people in your local, like if people have moved to Columbus from elsewhere, it's a great way to meet people here. But then if you move somewhere else, you can always, you kind of have a group already established in that community where you can meet new women, which I think is fantastic. We have tons of women in our league here in Columbus who transferred from other leagues.
That's great to be able to have almost that ready-made bond of something in common. Doesn't mean you already were perfect friends, but you'll kind of develop that. So something that you had mentioned was empowering women and developing their strengths and developing them. Do you have to be an extrovert to be a part of this?
No, we've got all sorts of, no, absolutely not. I say that as, I had a boss who used to call me a strong E. I don't know what that means. It didn't sound like a compliment when he said it, but you do not have to be an extrovert by any means. We have, all types of personalities and, all different women in our organization. And I think that it really is just that common drive to give back to your community and, like I said, develop your own potential. We talk about it. It's kind of a safe space to learn and grow and sometimes maybe things don't go perfectly, but it's kind of a safe spot to land if things don't go perfectly and if you fail. I feel like sometimes you learn more from your failures, at least I personally do, than successes. And so it's kind of a safe space to learn and grow, as opposed to a job where, it could lead to you getting fired or something. So that's kind of been one of the biggest benefits and takeaways that I've had with the league is that I've learned so much that actually helps me in my career. And it was kind of a safe spot to do that.
What was the Edison quote? He learned 10,000 ways not to do it before the light bulb worked. Same idea.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. That's wonderful. I think the point is that there's a place for every woman, no matter what her age, as long as she's, meets the minimum requirement, no matter what her personality, no matter what her career or stay-at-home status is. Yep. Want to give back to the community. This is something to check out. What did you say? jlcolumbus.org?
jlcolumbus.org. That is correct. And people can always email me if you have any questions or want to learn more about the league from a perspective of joining, or, we need docents at the Kelton House always. So plug for that. And men can be docents at the Kelton House too. You don't have to be a female. So feel free to email me at president@jlcolumbus.org. I'm always happy to, connect with you or put you in touch with the right people.
Thank you so much. Kara, is there anything that we didn't talk about the Junior League Columbus that you want to get out there that maybe we missed asking?
I feel like we talked about a lot. I think just we're coming up on our 100th year anniversary. So we are kind of gearing up for a centennial, which is really exciting and always fun, and kind of pulling together some of our, we're going to kind of do a small little museum to the Junior League in the Calton House. So over the next couple of years, we're pulling that together. Actually, the Junior League of Cincinnati just celebrated their 100th year anniversary. And they did that. So that's been kind of fun too, and excited to really work on that as that ramps up over the next couple of years. So it's kind of fun. We've been around a long time, almost 100 years old.
That is amazing. So I'm telling you what, this organization is doing so much to give back and so much to help women, empower women, as well as networking. I thank you so much for what you've been doing, and thank you for your patience in getting on today. But for sharing with all of the viewers out there. So anybody has any questions, check out jlcolumbus.org or send Kara an email. But in the meantime, thank you, Kara, and thank you everyone who's tuned in today. Bye.
Bye.